Hello guys, let's revise this mathematics paper 1. Okay, we just see answer in just a number of questions. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first one is saying simplify 2a plus open bracket b minus a close bracket negative 2b. All right, so what you need to do here, since this is the question, 2a plus open bracket b minus a close minus 2b, so we're going to expand 2. So you have 2a positive times b will be just the positive b minus positive a positive times negative a will be just the negative a. Then this one will just come the way it is as 2 negative 2b. Then we have like terms here, so we're going to say 2a minus a plus b minus 2b. Okay, 2a minus a is, in other words, we have an invisible one here. It's just the same as to say 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is just 1, so just remain with what? With a. Okay, then here is the same as we have 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Okay, so just remain with negative what? Negative b. So here you're going to write a minus b, and these are the answers. Okay, a minus b. Okay, let's go to the next question. So this question is saying 64 over 125 close bracket to the power negative 1 over 3. Okay, 1 over 3. So what you need to do first, to get rid of this negative, you are going to swap these. The numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So it would be 125 over 64, okay, to the power 1 over 3. All right, then this denominator here, the 3, becomes the root since it's a fraction. So it will be the cube root of 125 over 64. Okay, 125 over 64, or you can just over 64 to the power what? To the power 1. Now what is the cube root of 125? Is 5, because 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. So here you're going to say 5 over, then the cube root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 times 4, 4 times 4 times 4 is what? Is 64. Okay, so it's just 4. Then 4 into 5 is 1, remainder 1 over 4, and this is the answer. Okay, simple. Let's go to question 3. Question 3 here is saying, given that the lines 3y is equals to x plus 6 and y is equals to k x plus 12 are perpendicular, find the value of k. This is simple. Perpendicular lines, this is what you should know about perpendicular lines. Okay, m1 times m2 is equals to negative 1. Gradient 1 times gradient 2 is equals to what? Is equals to negative 1. Now gradient 1 comes from the first equation. So let's write down the first equation. Y, the first linear equation, 3y is equals to x plus 6. X plus 6. Okay, then this is not in original form, so we need to divide throughout by 3 so that we get what? The actual gradient. So here is the same as we have 1 over 3 x. 3 into 6 is just 2. Okay, the original is y is equals to mx plus c. So m is the gradient, so here we're going to get 1 over 3 as gradient 1. So gradient 1 here, 1 over 3. Okay, now what is gradient 2? If you check, this one is already in correct form. Okay, the coefficient of y is 1 and the other terms are on the right hand side. So the gradient there is in front of k, in front of x rather, so it will be just k. So we're going to substitute m2 with k is equals to negative 1. So we're going to say 1 times k will be k over 3 is equals to negative 1. Okay, is equals to negative 1. Then you cross over 1, you cross multiply. 1 times k will be just k. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. So the value of k is negative 3. Okay, that's the value of k. It's as simple as this. All right. So let's factorize this one. Here we are asked to factorize completely 6ax minus 4ay minus 3bx plus 2by. Okay, now here we are going to factorize by grouping. We are going to factorize by grouping. How? The first two terms we have what is common, so it's fine. So what is common here between 6 and 4? What's the common factor? 2 can go into 6 and 4, so you can factor out 2. 2 and a is also common. So 2 into 6, 3 times. A will cancel, just remain with what? X. Then 2 into 4, 2 into negative 4 is negative 2. A and A will cancel, just remain with what? Y. Okay, like this. Then here, what is common here is negative. Positive or negative is negative. Then B is also common, so it's negative B. Okay, then negative is positive. In other words, we have negative 1. Negative 1 into negative 3 is positive 3. B will cancel, just remain with what? X. Okay, negative positive is negative. B and B will cancel, just remain with what? 2y. Then we have two terms. Then we can just write what is common now here. 3y 3x minus 2y in brackets. Then here you have 2a minus b, and this is the what? This is the answer. Okay, question 5. Question 5. Given that a is the point negative 2, 1 and b is the point 1, 5, find the magnitude of vector AB. This is very simple. Magnitude of vector AB. How do you find the magnitude of vector AB? In other words, find the distance between two points. Okay. Now, since we have 2 points here, this is the formula we're going to use. We're going to say AB, the magnitude of vector AB is equals to the square root of x2 minus x1 close bracket squared plus y2 minus y1 close bracket squared. Okay, so going to square root this. Okay, so now this is x1, this is y1, the one there is y1, then this side here, this is x2, this is y2. Okay, now let's substitute and calculate. The square root of x2 is 1 minus x1 is what? -2. So the whole of this one is squared plus y2 is 5 minus y1 is 1. Okay, squared also, then the square root. Now inside here is just negative plus negative positive, so you just have one, is just 1 plus 2, which is 3, so it will be the square root of 3 squared plus 5 minus 1 is 4 squared. So for what? 4 squared. Okay, so this is the square root of 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is what? Is 16. Then this is the square root of 9 plus 16 is 25. Okay, so the magnitude, the absolute value, we are going to the square root of 25 is just 5 units. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, okay, so that's question 5. Question 6. Use set notations to describe the shaded region in the diagram below. So look at the shaded region there. So this is what is shaded here. So how can you describe that? The first thing, identify a set which is not shaded completely, and this P is not shaded completely. So P has a complement. We're going to say P complement, then intersect, open bracket. Look at this. This is the intersection of what? Q and R. So we're going to say Q intersect R. Okay, and this is the answer. It's as simple as this. Okay, if Q and R were completely shaded here like this, including the intersection, this would have been P complement intersect Q union R. Okay, so you should also know this situation. All right, so this is the answer to the original question. Let's go to the next question. Given that set A is 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 0, B -1, 0, X, and C is that one. Find the transpose of matrix C. So transpose of matrix C is very simple. The first row become the first column. That's very simple. So it will be 7, 6, and the second row becomes the second column, which is -1, 0, and this is the answer. Okay, that is the transpose of what is C transpose. Then the second question is saying, find the value of X for which AB is equals to C. Okay, so this is very simple. So A multiplied by B, so matrix A, which is 2, 3, 1, 0, multiplied by what? Multiplied by B -1, 0, X, 2. This should be equal to 7, 6, -1, 0. Okay, so, and we are going to do exactly that. We're going to multiply. Okay, so it will be row by column. Okay, row by column, row by column. Well, we need to find the value of x. So it will be 2 times -1. So it will be 2 times -1, which is just the -2, plus 3 times x. Okay, 3 times x, which is just 3x. Okay, can't use this and this. Okay, because x is just here. This here is equals to the first term there. Okay, because if you do this, let me just show you something here so that you understand what I'm talking about. This is the first element, which is 7. Okay, if you want to know the answer, this answer 6 here, we can find it by doing so. 2 times 0 times this column. 2 times 0 is what? 0 plus 3 times 2 is 6. You see, we're going to find this 6. If you want, you can also check by multiplying this times the first column. It's going to give us x, but multiply 0 times the last column here is going to give you what? 0. 0 times 0 is 0, plus 1 times 0 is 0, plus 0 times 2, 0 is 2 more. So we're going to say this. Okay, let me do this. We're just going to use this and equate to, since it's the first element, we're going to equate to 7. And so for x, it's simple as this. 3x is equals to 7 plus 2, because 2, when 2 crosses the cosine, it becomes what? Positive. So 3x is equals to 7 plus 2 is 9 over 3 over 3. The value of x, therefore, is 3, because 3 into 9 is 3 times. Okay, so that's it to 7. Okay, 8 is saying, given that the 11th term of an arithmetic progression is 43 and the first term is 3. Okay, the first term is 3. Find the common difference. Okay, how can you find the common difference here? Remember, the formula for finding the nth term is Tn is equals to a plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket what? D. Okay, so now we are going to use the 11th term to find the common difference. N here will be 11. N is 11. Now the 11th term, we know that is 40 what? Is 43. So we're going to say 43 is equals to, what's the first term? The first term are given here as 3. A is the first term, plus open bracket, n is 11, 11th term, minus 1 close bracket, d. Okay, so 43 is equals to 3 plus, what is 11 minus 1 is just 10 times d, just 10d. Then you solve for d, so it will be 43 minus 3 is equals to 10d, because this positive 3, when it crosses the cosine, it becomes minus 3. Okay, so 43 minus 3 is just 40 is equals to 10d over 10 over 10. So d is equals to 10 into 40, 4. Okay, so common difference is 4 here. That's the thing. Okay, so I'm going to create space here. We know the common difference as 4, so I'm going to create space so that we solve for the second equation. Okay, find the fourth term. To find the fourth term, we're still going to use the same formula. Tn is equals to a plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket d. So Tn here is 4, is equals to a, the first term is 3 plus n is 2b4 minus 1. Common difference we found 4. Okay, 3 plus, what is 4 minus 1? 3. So it is 3 times 4. Okay, so 3 plus, what is 3 times 4? 12. So 3 plus 12 is 15. Okay, so here it is just 15. That's the fourth term. Fourth term is what? The fourth term is 15. Okay, so it's as simple as this.